What's up, guys? Back again on the bench with our RC four-wheel drive 1984 Toyota 4Runner. Awesome little rig. Remember, we did the bumpers, the wheels, some paint jobs, stuff like that, made it look fancy, but we kind of wanted to throw some little bit more stuff at it. So we got the soft top for the top. That's going to come up in a later video when we throw that on. And I was waiting on the Cchand choice scale roof rack to come in with the roof rack type mounts for the truck. But, you know, I went ahead and started laying this out ahead of time for you guys. You don't have to watch us figure out how to put this all together. And just the height that it's going to sit at is not looking choice or good. You got a pretty big gap in here. In scale, that would be really disproportionate. So we're going to make this a little bit different. I'm going to drill some holes in the back, and we're actually going to tuck these rails up through here and then mount the rack to the bottom side of the rails, which is going to lower us down quite a bit in the overall. So it's going to look a lot better and kind of get that look that we're after on the truck. So I'm going to grab the GoPro. I'm going to get that set up over here so you guys can watch me fumble around and get this done. And let's get this mounted. Okay, so the goal is to re-drill some holes back here on center, so we can get this guy to fit through. The best way you're going to want to do this, though, is just put them in. And then you can mark them out right where they need to be. Even though this guy is going to line up front to back, set it right in the center, slide that over. Sounds easier than it is, of course. And hold it this way. There, so we know that's going to fit in there, no problem, no interference. Mark, perfect. So these holes are slotted so we can leave that a little bit of loose so we can get the nice fitment that we're after. You can really tell it's going to be important to use Loctite on this. It's falling apart just moving it around. Good old aluminum. Okay, so let's get back to the camera. Okay, guys, you can see how simple that was. Drilled a couple of holes, moved everything around to where we're going to want it. It's not bad, but I'm thinking it's going to be hard for you guys to see, sorry. It's not bad, but it is sticking out like right to the edge of the window, so I'm actually might go drill these back light mounts and move that so I can bring it forward just a little bit. And then once we do that, we're going to take it off and go spray it all flat black anyway and then put it on there. So okay, guys, after fitting it on the truck, we weren't fully happy with the positioning, so we're going to go to this hole here that we just drilled here. We were going to go all the way back here, no good. These are the holes we drilled, no good. So we're going to go back this hole, but we did have to cut out one of the crossbars here out of the basket. But once you have this kind of in there, you know, it's going to kind of fill up that space a little bit. So it's not the end of the world, not choice, but you know, that's what you got to do to get these things to fit the way you want. I'm just going right now and filing down any burrs and sharp little pieces left over. Now I'm more worried about the top side here and not the bottom, because that's actually going to be tucked underneath the mount, like right in here, so you're not going to see that. And then I'm just going to go through, and it's a little bit rough. There's crap all over it, and some of the edges are a little bit rough from the process of cutting it. So I'm just going to take my file and take off all the little bits and pieces, and then I'm going to go spray this matte black we'll actually get it drilled onto the truck, and then before I go mount it, I'm gonna go spray it all flat black as one piece and then set it on the truck. Okay, we'll see you back after we get that painted. Okay, turn a few more lights on in the shop here so we can see what we're doing. We've got the rack mounted. It's sitting a lot lower. It looks a lot better. I know this is going to be tough to see, the black on black. But yeah, we've got the mounts pretty much set where we want. We had to space them in and out a while, in and out just a few times to make sure they line up with the curve of the body. They're beautiful mounts. Everything's looking good. The gap now is a lot more reasonable. It looks a lot more scale. You don't, like a roof rack sitting 10 inches off the top of the roof is just silly. So it's lined up now where we want on the back. We can make a slight modification. So all we need to do is drill this out, go throw this in for paint, take the cap off, and then when this is done drying, we can put it all together, Loctite it all, lock it all down, and yeah, she's ready to go. We'll put the front plate on, and we'll load it with junk. So we'll see you guys back here. No, wait, we don't have to go anywhere. I gotta drill holes. So the screws are very tiny, so we don't need that large of a hole, and there's a tiny nut on the back side. So we'll go with a 5/64 drill bit. Now, with a hole this size, you want to make sure you're on the right angle and you don't get anything messed up, moved around. So I like to do both the front ones so I can keep an eye on the back corner, make sure everything is lined up the way I want it. Always check before you drill. Mount sitting in where you want it. Give her. Put the screw in, just throw it in. There's no nut on the inside, but it'll help hold everything lined up for you. So just make sure everything is still where you left it. Everything looks fantastic. We can send it. Okay guys, I got that all drilled and got the screws tossed in. All we have to do now is pull that off and go paint it, and then we can throw it on here, and we're pretty much done installing this RC 4-wheel drive Cchand roof rack. I think they call it the choice roof rack or something. I got a part number here. It is part number VVV-C0769 from Cchand RC 4-wheel drive. We just mounted it with a ProNoob twist. Scaled it out, brought it down a little bit, looking real good. We're gonna get some paint on this, and then I'll get some B-roll once it's all mounted up onto the truck. See you guys back here in a couple seconds. Okay, well that brings us to the end of this quick little video of us throwing that roof rack on there. Like I said guys, we got that sprayed up in the Tamiya matte black. It really pops out in the matte black. It looked good before, but the shiny black, it just is kind of looking a little cheap with the color on it. Now the matte black looks perfect. This really nice wind deflector on the front with the Yakima style transfer decal. There, like I said, there is a few decals that come with it. You get the Thule, Cchand, and the Tier D off-road, and a 4x4 Sport. We might use these somewhere else on our other builds. They're very nice transfer decals. They have a chrome background with a white decal over top, so they're going to look good for a long time. Besides that, we got it lower down like we're talking about. So what we did was cut out this back support so we could actually get it sitting back here on the cap too. RC 4-wheel drive has this mounted about 1.5 inches forward, where all these mounts would clear everything and kind of fit together, but we had to customize it to get it all the way back here where we wanted it, because we do want to take the cap off and put our rag top on when summer comes back around. So besides that, it's looking awesome lowered. We're about 4 millimeters lower than where we should be. I don't know if you can get a zoom on that, Jesse. I'm a real boy. And yes, Jesse is a real boy. So yeah, we put the rack on the bottom side of the roof mounts to actually lower it down, and to get it where we needed, we had to cut out this back support. So Really simple, just our way of doing things. You know, like you know by now, we're not going to put this on top. If it doesn't look good, we would just throw it out and move on to something else. So it is $159 for us to buy this here in Canada. So I think you can actually get a real roof rack at Princess Auto, which is like a part wholesaler or whatever, surplus wholesaler. You could probably get one for the same price at Princess Auto for your full-size vehicle. So with that money being spent into it, trust me, I was putting the time in to get this sitting the way I want, and I think it looks amazing on there. You can see the gap in the front, really nice and low and tight in there. It just, oh, it looks fantastic. Now we have the room on the sides here. We might get some small scene lights or little LED cubes and put them on there, but we don't want to make it look ugly. The main thing about these RC four-wheel drives are they're pretty much rolling RC art. They look fantastic. So with the wheels, the tires, the bumpers, the winch, the interior paint job. I threw in one of our milk crates with an RC car and a couple little supplies in there, kind of sitting in the back. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that in there. Probably not. Nah. I should have probably shown you guys before I buttoned it all up, but oh well, we'll see it in some trailing videos once we have the top off and then rag top off in the summer. So pretty much that is going to bring us to the end of the mods for this truck until the rest of our parts come in. We got quick release body mounts that get rid of the 2 screws down here, and it goes to a plate with some kind of thumb screw on the bottom, so you just take that off and lift the body out instead of having to take these 2 screws out, which is only a limited time engagement because they are binder screws, like a cutting screw, and eventually it's going to drill up that hole. You can put the mod on there that guys do to run the grub screw, and you just hook the body over that, but I just don't care for doing that. Okay, so yeah, that's the end of this one, guys. We're going to get building back on that TGH Sherpa for our buddy Sean. We just had a couple parts show up, so we had to throw them on. We'll see you guys on the next one.